PSVR. It's a game that I was kind of been interested in for quite a while, but never really had any kind of experience of it. Never really had the impulse to buy it, and because it was something that I wasn't sure about, I wanted to kind of wait until the price came down and I was able to play it just to see what it was like. On the PlayStation Store at the moment, you can actually get it for $24.99, I think it is. But obviously then it doesn't come with the aim controller. You can buy it from a lot of retailers at the moment, whereas when it first came out it sold out really quick and it was really hard to get hold of. I don't have the aim controller, so I am just using, as you can see here, my controller. It works really well, I've got to be honest. It actually works very well. So this is just like the initial setup bit, and it's just asking you just to kind of touch these just to make sure that the just to make sure the calibration is right for the VR. So when it first loads up, it kind of gives you. So because I've done some of the mission already, this is where you kind of come into, and it's a hab unit, as you can see written on the wall over there. Desks and things. There's other bits and pieces down here. You've got your gun in your hand. And you can knock things around like this. To what end I have no idea, but it's there to be, to do it. The controls, if you're new to VR, please take it very easy on this. If you have to stand up and do it, what I've found is to actually have like my leg pressed, because I'm in my bedroom at the moment. I've got the bed sort of like right next to my left leg. Now I know you can't see that, but I've got my left leg pressed against the bed because it kind of gives you that little bit of stability and doesn't make you feel so lightheaded and a bit disorientated. I find it helps. Do whatever you want to. I think you can play this sat down, but obviously you need a bit of a bigger space to be able to do it. So yeah, so I'll take you around here before we get sort of like started. It is really well detailed, actually. The resolution that you will see on the screen is going to be nothing like what it is on the VR headset. It's amazingly different in the actual VR world. It's very sort of like clear. I'd imagine on the Pro, because I've heard that obviously the Pro version of the PS4 with the VR headset makes it a lot clearer. To sort of like do bits and pieces and things like that, and it just looks clearer. The lines aren't so kind of like jagged. There seems to be, it's almost, I don't know how to describe it, it's almost like flickering of certain images. I don't know if you can see that on the screen, but until you get kind of like close to it, it sort of like it flickers. So we'll turn around. So like there you can probably see like the lines and things like that look like they're flickering a little bit. I'm not sure why it does that. But yeah, we are in space at the moment, on the space station, and this is like your little hub area, if you like. So go over here to the desk, and yeah, it does make you feel kind of woozy because it's like if you've played Resident Evil 7, it has that same kind of like feeling to it, like when you're moving around. You are able to change those settings so that the turns can be changed to incremental turns. So you can like press a button and it will kind of go like that kind of thing, and it will turn like that, which doesn't make you feel so sick, because that whole kind of like turn swaying motion, until I suppose you get used to it or whatever, I don't know if you ever get used to it really, it will kind of, well, it makes you feel a little bit dizzy. It makes me feel dizzy anyway. So anyway, so settings all there, so you can change the turn mode from smooth, which is what it's on now. So using your right thumbstick the way you would in any first person, so like Destiny or Call of Duty, Battlefield or anything like that. You've got your left thumbstick to move around, to sort of strafe left and right, move backwards and forwards, and the right thumbstick to turn. So you have your turn mode up there, which you can change to no turn. I'm not really sure how that works during the game, if I'm perfectly honest. I don't know if it's one of those things you just kind of it'll guide you in a straight line almost, I guess, like just like a straight shooter, I guess. I'm not sure. Small step. So there you go. That's what I was saying. So it turns it in increments like that, which can help with the whole sickness thing, but it's kind of, I don't know, that's the first time I've actually tried that, and it kind of almost like dazzles a little bit. So yeah, I'm not so sure about that one. Big step. So it fades in and out. So that is pretty much what the one on Resident Evil is like. It feels more like that than any of the others. Click. Oh, that is when. Oh, right. So you point in the general direction you want to go, and if you tap the right thumbstick, it will turn you. I think, is that right? It looks like it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's going to get very, very annoying very, very quickly. So change it back to smooth, because that's how I've kind of got used to it. You've got your turn speed. I haven't really noticed much in terms of what the turn speed actually does. I know it sounds like a really silly thing to say, but I've got it up to 11, but it didn't seem to really make any difference from what it was before, which was about 4, I think, or something like that. 180 turn is where you can press a button and you will literally go from this position and you will go right around to that position. Vibration on full, sticks normal, swapped. So that would be for your right thumbstick to do the moving and left thumbstick to do the looking around. The motion sensor direction, gotta be honest, I'm not 100% sure what that is. And then you've got your usual kind of settings on there. When you first boot this up, it will actually ask you for your height and things like that. I'm presuming it's something to do with the way the camera interprets like the rifle position and things like that as well, and where your arms roughly are, because that is basically where my arm roughly is. And if you can just about see shoulders and things like that, so it makes it. So I'd imagine if you put it on, like your play height was like 2 foot or something, your rifle would be right down here somewhere or whatever, you know what I mean? Handedness, never seen it worded like that, but okay. So left-handed, right-handed, simples. Next to skin, cryo. I think that one, is to do with the new content that was released at some point earlier this year. It was a free DLC, I believe, called Cryo, I think. So we'll just keep it on that one for now. Right, so I'm going to take you, let's come out of that. You've got story, co-op, challenge, cinematics and settings. Cinematics will obviously, with common sense, it will show you the filming, like the cutscenes and things that have happened during the play. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it on. I'm going to stick it on story, and I'll carry on from kind of where I left it probably about 10 minutes ago, I think, something along those lines. So yeah, just waiting for this to load up. Incidentally, apparently the VR controller from the reviews that I've read, or the aim controller, sorry, is apparently actually very good for this game. And the one thing that I did notice I thought was really, really good, and if they do bring it in with something like Call of Duty or Battlefield or something, just some kind of shooter, and when it loads up I'll show you, you actually physically have to bring the gun up to your eye to look down the sight. So there, so if you can see that, there's your reticle there for your aiming, which I think is just really, really cool. I think that's a really neat touch. So this is a point where I just got to at the moment. I'm in this big cavern. There is these spider type creatures which kind of jump at you like that you're going to see in a minute, like that. And so I'm probably going to die in a minute, but just to kind of give you a general idea of what that is like, they're horrible, they're evil, and they do make you jump, especially when you kind of hear them but you don't see them, and then you see it whiz past your face or something. Sometimes one thing that I have noticed, I can't even back up any further, so I'm going to have to run through this and then I'll try and talk about it afterwards. So enjoy the bit of gameplay I'm about to show you. 2 guns, assault rifle and shotgun. Run away very quickly. You do have unlimited ammo in your assault rifle, but there's a big one over there. I might swear at some point, so I do apologise for that. We've got these ones here that spit things at you, like that. And this one, he just comes over and he just, yeah, he wants to eat you. We change over to Shotty. Shotty does have built-in grenades as well, which are fired by the L2 trigger. And alright, come here. One down, and you press left on the D-pad to reload that. Oh, go away, you! Don't like you. Can wait. Right, so the assault rifle and the Shotty both have a grenade launcher. I don't have any grenades for my assault rifle at the moment. You do actually get a really good sense of movement in this, and the whole thing of being able to actually lift up the rifle and bring the reticle up to your eye is a really, really good touch. They've done really well with that, I think. Press down on your left thumbstick to run, or sprint as you would in any normal shooter. And I can hear the footsteps of the thing. And I don't like it. Sometimes when you do turn this a little bit quick, it tends to sort of like wobble, so that's why I was saying if you want to stand up and play it, I find it easier to kind of like press up against something. Keeps you a little bit stable. Right, so that's more. Right, so shotgun out, L2, grenade, instant impact causes explosion, if not there's a 3-second delay. And he's gonna, there you go, and he hides the back. Sometimes I actually can't help but close my left eye when I'm looking through the reticle. Must be all the years of military training that I haven't had. Right, let's end you very quickly, and there you go. Horrible little things, don't like them. And there is something else in here which I did hear a minute ago, or like when I got to this level a minute ago, but I couldn't find it. I've got a feeling it's probably like the first boss, maybe. Ah, damn. Right. Whoa. God, there's another one. Ah, sugar. I was going to swear quite profusely then. Don't tell me I've got to do all that bit again. Please just spawn it from... I don't know. Oh, I think it's going to make me do the whole thing again. If you are really enjoying your VR headset, but are wanting, and haven't got this, and are wanting something that kind of really makes you feel like you are involved in a game that you like Call of Duty or Battlefield or something like that, then like this is the only one that I know of that is anywhere near similar, and I think it's brilliant. Actually think it's brilliant. But I'm easily pleased, but I think this is a fantastic idea, and I think they've executed it really well. I think if even if they just even if like the other companies like EA, Treyarch, anything like that, I think even if they just looked at this game and just went, you know what, I think it's hole 10, so oh no, I've run out, damn. It's just going to get really cramped very, very quickly. One down. How many rounds have I got left? I don't know. That's it, I'm out of rounds on that shotty. Alright, well I've really annoyed something. That sounds very big, whatever it is. And I'm going to need something bigger.
To assist holographic file recovery, please locate and scan all fragments.
Okay, so as you sort of like continue through the game, basically the premise of this is, I haven't been able to show you, is you are a soldier. You were assigned to escort some scientists that were researching some kind of anomaly in space. Long story short, shit goes south and the anomaly sucks everything into wherever it is, and you kind of end up on this planet. The big ship, and I can't remember what it's called, basically gets wrecked and it's scattered across this planet, and the scientists who obviously went through before you have gone out on to explore and try and find out, and you have to kind of like piece together like what's going on. So this is a hologram example that comes up, and using L1 you have a scanner thing here, and you have to basically scan the hologram like that. Let's listen to this and see what she says.
Damn it. What? Hold on. We may have a problem. I need to take a closer look.
The other scientist, incidentally, actually looks like someone really famous, and I can't remember his name, but I've seen him in quite a few films, and I've seen him in quite a few games as well. I think Call of Duty was actually one of them. I'll see if I can find out who it is. Oh, okay, so that looks like that's the end of that section, so there you go. So this is back, and you are observing this is the other guy, the other scientist. This is the bit that's just been found. As I say, like, the detail is like unbelievable in here, and it really does look like you get really close to things, and I just think the VR is just absolutely fantastic. But
15, 16 clicks away.
I think it's capable of so much more as well.
Can you stretch your rations that far?
Yeah, I'm good.
I purged the hab, by the way.
Hello, dude.
Pressure's holding. It's actually pretty comfortable in here.
Okay. But we're not staying. Grant, I have a little emergency here.
What is it?
I think I may be going insane with boredom.
You do know we're in the middle of the most fascinating scientific opportunity in human history.
Yeah, I know. But I still wish they would put an FM station in these helmets. I need some drive time.
Well, the only station you get out here is me. Am I saying worse? Let's just say most people would choose boredom over torture.
What I think would be quite cool is if you could actually use your controller like a handgun, because if you hold a controller on the side, you could potentially use it as a handgun.
No, you.
That'd be something
I
quite
do.
smart if they could do something
I
with that.
do.
All
I
it
do.
needs is a
Nobody in the
little
universe knows that except for you.
bit on top of the light bar or something, or something for the camera to detect on there. You better use it as a handgun. That'd be quite smart.
Yeah.
Hey, look up at the stars, will you? It's incredible. No one in human history has seen the universe from this position. Isn't that crazy?
Pretty crazy.
Quite an exciting prospect, that.
You know, we could just bed in and set up an outpost here.
How do the rations look?
Actually, there seem to be a lot of rotten packs. And I mean a lot. 90% maybe. Was the Pilgrim due a resupply?
The Pilgrim. That's the name of the big ship. I couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah. The pennies are all fine. We should be fine.
Okay.
You can skip the.
You just quickly
I think you can.
Delamitri's greatest hits.
Well, I thought you could skip it. I swear I could earlier on.
Look around your world, pretty baby.
Ah, there you go. Yeah. So you can keep your finger on cross on the to be able to skip through the cutscene, but because I've only just started playing the game, it's kind of cool just to sort of like hear the story kind of evolve on. So this is quite a good example of like I said, you can't really see it on the TV, which is a real shame that you don't get that whole sense of surround that you can see from the shadow there. Like, you know, it looks really smooth, the ground looks really cool, the shadows look right, and everything just looks really good inside the VR headset. One thing I do like is, although I don't know why you would, but you can actually hold the gun out like that in front of you if you really want to. You can see the PlayStation controller there, so that's where my hand is, pretty much where his hand is, so that's probably to do with obviously the camera and the setting for how high you are and things like that. The details on the gun are quite good, but this is the other thing I do like as well, is when you bring the gun close to you, your other hand automatically comes up to hold the gun. So if you were going to bring it, if you imagine if you had like a stock on the end of the gun there or something like that, we just wanted to get down the reticle, the hand's straight there just to kind of like steady the shot, and I think that's really, really smart. It's very clever, really intuitive, really good. And the trigger there as well, so I'm just tapping my R2 button, you can see it, and you got the rifle there. I think it just looks really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that there for now, and then see what else comes. So I'm just doing a little bit further on from where the last clip ended. And I was just thinking, and something just came into my mind. Someone actually turned around and said, "Oh, like, why don't they do a Destiny VR? Or will there be any VR content when Destiny 2 comes out?" I could only imagine, just from playing this, as good as it is, I can only imagine playing something like Destiny, the way Destiny is played, you would be walking around in a puddle of your own vomit. It's a brilliant idea, but I just don't think it's very practical. Something like this, however, I think would be quite good. Just like a little side mission against like the Fallen or something like that, or even against the Hive or the Taken, really. It'd be quite smart, I think. So I can't remember if I said this earlier on, but the assault rifle has unlimited ammo, but does overheat. So let's do a shotty. Oh no, I'll go with a shotty anyway. Come on! Made short work of you. And you, and you, and you. Yep, I killed your mate. What are you going to do about it? He better be. I thought he was still alive then. Ah! Oh, I killed him just at the end as well. That sucks.